Hebrews. This is a Prophets of Awakening. This is our men's advanced Bible class, 30th of November 2021. I'll be dealing with a video that was put out. It's what is in the body. We're just gonna go through and look at some parts of it and discuss it. I'm asking everybody to like, share, subscribe to the Prophets of Awakening channel, and hit the notification button. For those that don't know, this is a non-Messianic channel, and we deal with the Tanakh, and which is the Old Testament, and the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses on Mount Sinai. Shalom and welcome to our men's advanced Bible study class. We're going to do our moment of silence, prayer, psalms, and current events. And that moment of silence is in regards to our Creator, Lord of hosts. Our Creator Yahweh and His Redeemer, Lord of hosts. Oh Lord, we come before Thee at this time, and we thank You for the knowledge and for the understanding that You have given us up until this point. And we seek Thy face at this hour, that You shower us with peace and enlightenment and a sense of togetherness. Oh Lord, we see Thy hand in the affairs of the world, and we know and understand that what You have spoken in the past will surely come to pass. Turn not Thy face from us, but hearken unto this plea. Hearken, O Lord, and do. All praises unto You. Okay. So I'll read the Psalms right quick. I'm gonna read Psalm 69. It's a song of cry of distress. It says, "Save me, O God, for the waters have come in unto my soul. I sink in deep mire, where there is nothing standing. I am come into deep waters, where the floods overflow me. I am weary of crying. My throat is dry. My eyes fail while I wait for my God. They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of my head. They that would destroy me, being my enemies, wrongfully are mighty. Then I restored that which I took not away. O God, Thou knowest my foolishness, and my sins are not hid from Thee. Let not them that wait on Thee, O Lord God of hosts, be ashamed for my sake. Let not those that seek Thee be confounded for my sake, O God of Israel. Because for Thy sake have I have great things, O God, who is like unto Thee. Thou which hast showed me great and sore troubles shall quickly quicken me again, and shall bring me up again from the depths of the earth. Thou shalt increase my greatness and comfort me on every side, and I will also praise Thee with the pastry, even Thy truth, O my God. Unto Thee will I sing with the harp, O Thy Holy One of Israel. My lips shall greatly rejoice when I sing unto Thee, and my soul which Thou hast redeemed. My tongue also shall talk of Thy righteousness all the day long, for they are confounded, for they are brought unto shame that seek my hurt." Okay. I think let me see. Yeah, no, I went to the wrong place. I skipped over and went to, I was reading in Psalms 39. Let me go back.
I thought so, man. I'm like, man,
yeah, 2 minutes.
you had lost me all of a sudden. I'm like, mine's not reading like that.
Yeah, 2 pages stuck together. So I'm
Right.
in Psalm 69, verse 7, because
Okay.
Thy sake, I have borne a reproach. Shame have covered my face. I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children. For the zeal of thine house have eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee also fallen upon me. And I wept and chastened my soul with fasting that was to my reproach. I made sackcloth also my garment, and I became a proverb to them. They that sit in the gate speak against me, and I was a song of the drunkards. But as for me, my power is unto thee, O Lord, in an acceptable time. O God, in the multitude of thy mercies, hear me in the truth of thy salvation. Deliver me out of the mire, and let me not sink, and let me be delivered from them that hate me, and out of the deep waters. Let not the water flood overflow me, neither let the deep swallow me up, and let not the pit shut her mouth upon me. Hear me, O Lord, for thy loving kindness and good. Turn unto me according to the multitude of the tender mercies, and hide not thy face from thy servant, for I am in trouble. Hear me speedily. Draw nigh unto my soul, and redeem it. Deliver me because of my enemies. Thou hast known my reproach and my shame and my dishonor. Mine adversaries are all before thee. Approach, I have broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness, and I looked for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. Let their table become a snare before them, and that which is should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened, that they see not, and make their loins continuously be to shake. Pour out thine indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none dwell in their tents. For they persecute him whom thou hast smitten, and they talk to the grief of those whom thou hast wounded. Add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come into their righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of living, and not be written in righteousness. But I am poor and sorrowful, and let the salvation of God set me up on high. I am praised the name of God with a song, and will magnify him with thanksgiving. This also shall please the Lord better than an ox or a bullock that have horns and hoofs. The humble shall see this and be glad, and your heart shall live that seek God. For the Lord heareth the poor, and despiseth not his prisoners. Let the heavens and the earth praise him, and the seas and everything that moveth therein. For God will save Zion, and will build the cities of Judah, that they may dwell there and have its possession. The seed also of his servant shall inherit it, and they that love his name shall dwell therein. So that was Psalm 69. It's a cry for the stress. It's a song of David. Any comments?
Well, we see where they borrowed some of this that David was saying, and they attributed to JC.
Exactly.
When they're talking about they gave him vinegar. I'm
Right.
trying to find that where
21.
it says reproach had broken my heart, and I'm full of heaviness, and I looked for
Yeah.
some to take pity, but there
Right.
was none, and for comforters I found none. They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink.
Right.
Well, now we can see where the New Testament drew
Yeah,
that
that's
from.
where it came from, right there. Right. Is that something?
Hmm. Well, they just how they try to make Christ a Messiah because
Right.
they know
Exactly.
David is a Messiah. Well, we're
Right.
gonna we're gonna denigrate David and replace him with the Christ of the New Testament.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And also too, you can see Psalm 53 in there too. See where it says 23. Let their eyes be darkened, that they see not, and make their loins continuously shake. Pour out thy indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none dwell therein. For they persecute him, him persecute him that thou hast smitten. See that? It's Isaiah 53. They
Right.
persecute him whom they have smitten, and they talk of the grief of those whom ye have wounded. See that? Then it's Israel says, and add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come into the righteousness. So you can see that's Isaiah 53 right there.
Right.
There's some.
And another thing that I see in here a lot is throughout our scriptures is that our forefathers knew how to wait upon the Lord a
Right.
host. That's one
Exactly.
thing they always say. I have to wait upon the Lord. They
Right.
in these days and time we rushing them. We need them to come now. And if
Right.
we don't come now, we get mad.
Right.
But we have to learn to wait upon the Lord of hosts.
Right. Yeah. They
And,
don't,
and
yeah.
then they always praise him for his mercies.
Right.
So
Yeah. And that let you know they knew these angels firsthand and their characteristics and roles.
right, right.
Exactly. Is that something?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody else?
Hey, yeah, and the way they praying, the way David prayed and the way JC prayed is two different things, man. He like in 27, I think he said add iniquity to him and blot him out the book.
Right.
Man, that's ain't no love for your enemies.
Right. Right. Ain't no drafting in the enemy.
Right.
Right. We should be praying for these Gentile nations to fall. I mean, fall hard. And these enemies, these jokers, they love them too. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
something?
Ain't nothing that love thy enemy and uh turn your other cheek. Or what do you say? Resist not evil.
Right.
Man, that's a crazy doctrine to tell somebody not to resist evil.
Right.
Because Lord host tell us to love righteousness and do good.
Exactly.
So you have to resist evil if you're gonna love righteousness.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And
Totally opposite.
he tell us that about Abraham too. So
Right.
Yeah.
Abraham excused evil.
And you talk about you go to worship another god or idol, man. These cats will kill you. It ain't no joke.
Is that so? Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, can you
Mm.
imagine when they finally cancel Christmas? How this thing gonna be? It's gonna turn on that crazy.
Oh
But
yeah.
one of these years, Christmas will get canceled.
Oh yes, you're right. Is that something? Yeah. Anybody got any current events?
Hey,
I
Leonard,
got
I got one more question on verse 35 before we go to current events. It says, "For
okay.
God will save Zion and will build the cities of Judah, that they may dwell there and have it in possession." Uh, will the heathen that's in the land now build Jerusalem for us,
The
or will
Gentile.
we be building our land once we get back?
Well, they're gonna bring the Gentile there.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gentile are gonna be he said those uh those who was captive gonna be going their oppressors gonna become captives.
Right. So
So the
when we
Gentiles
bring them
gonna be
home with as our captives and slaves or
right,
servants, not slaves, but servants, they
right,
will be doing the work for us.
right. They're gonna
Then.
build up our
Okay.
wall.
Okay.
Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
Well, we see it already. The Mexicans already started. That's what they kicking at. That's what these Karens and all these coming from. They see the transition and already started. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me play this right here. See the guy got the comments on. I don't know if you heard nothing about it. Here you go.
Greetings, family. I'm Dr. Jamil Harrell Sims, and I'm a proud contributor to the African Diaspora Newsletter. Please make sure you click like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the little bell that you know each time we upload the video. Today, This commentary is going to be very difficult for me to give, but it needs to be known. So please excuse me if I seem a little emotional, but when I explain this story to you, I don't see how you can not feel anything, especially if you are a parent. So I was contacted by Robert and Joy Lisby of Fort Peters, Florida. They have a set of twins. One of the twins, Israel, was 1 year old, was having shortness of breath. So Joy, the mother, contacted her husband and said, something's going on with the baby. We need to get him to a hospital. So the baby was rushed to Longwood Regional Medical Center. And when they arrived, the parents were told that the hospital worked on their baby for 55 minutes and he did not survive. They put the sheet over him and informed the parents of their baby's passing. But 12 minutes later, they later came back and told the parents that he was in stable condition. They moved the baby upstairs, I guess, to a neonatal ICU ward, sent them upstairs. And so the mother had a lot of questions, as to why they were, what was going on and how could they pronounce him dead, and, just a lot of questions. I would if I were a parent. So they moved the baby upstairs, and they told her they were going to sedate the baby so the baby wouldn't be in pain. Now, she stated that she was able to see her child, and the child had some movement. She was holding the baby's hands. And so if he's in stable condition, why does he need to be sedated? So she's asking questions. And so they told her so he wouldn't be in pain. 3 hours later, now she's asking questions. What's going on with my baby? What do you think it is? Why are you sedating him? Why did you pronounce him dead? Why did you get, something's not right. It's not sounding right to me. And the security guard came up to her 3 hours later. She's in the hospital. Her husband leaves to go check on the other children. And security told her that she had to leave the hospital because of her tone. That's what they always say about us Black women, our tone. And she was like, what tone? What have I done? I'm just asking questions. Well, she's asking too many questions. So security came and they brought an officer and they kicked her out. Her husband came, kicked them both out. And they were told that DCFS was contacted and that they would be going to court in the morning. And they're like, why is DCFS contacted? What's going on? Keep in mind that they informed me that there is a genetic something, in their family, and they had already lost a child to something similar. So they go home and they're told they're going to be in court the next morning. But at 3 a.m., she said, the marshals or SWAT and DCFS came knocking on their door. They removed her children. They searched her house. And so they found nothing wrong. They took her children and told them that they had a temporary restraining order placed on them by the hospital. Now, this was on April 30th, 8:15 in the morning. The hospital has a temporary restraining order on them, but they're saying that the parents are not suspects. They're not suspected any foul play, but they restrained them from the hospital. So May 4th, this is 2021, the baby's sent to the funeral home. They just want to lay the child to rest. The funeral director warned that an autopsy was done on the child. And the parents were informed that the baby's eyes, he said, I've got to warn you about your child, now the child looks. He said the baby's eyes were gone, were removed. The brain was removed. All the organs were removed. And so Mrs. Lisby stated that it looked like they had sewn their child up with the rope. Now, this was a story that it's hard to believe. I'm going to admit, it's hard to believe, but then really considering how they've done us throughout history, it's not hard to believe. So she said that she saw her son and that the baby's eyes were gone. The brain was gone. All the organs were gone. And there was no toe tag to identify her child with. And there was no organ list. And so she's asking, where are her child's organs? And they, for 6 or 7 months, have been trying to get the pathology report, but they keep being told it's not ready. They have a change.org petition asking for signatures so that they can get this information and find out what's going on with their child. What happened, actually, has been laid to rest. What happened to their child? Now, I'm going to tell you, I was getting ready to do this segment, and I needed to know, I need to make sure of the name of the parents. So I went on and looked, and I saw the pictures. They asked me if I want to see the pictures because they say a lot of people don't believe them. Then they see the pictures, they're very disturbed. People don't know what to say. People just back up. I didn't want to see the pictures. I'm a parent. I'm a mother, and I didn't want to see it. But I wasn't. I was just trying to make sure I had, some information correct as far as their name. And I saw the pictures. They were there, and it's very disturbing. It's very, very, very disturbing. I've seen a lot of things in my 3 careers that I've not seen. I'm not a baby. Brothers and sisters, this is not the only situation going on. There are so many situations. And what's happening is some situations you wouldn't know, people are reaching out to me. Please don't inundate me with a lot of stories because I'm a busy person, but if there's something that I really think that we needed to know about this. Listen, family. Where are Israel's organs? What really happened? How do you pronounce a child deceased and then 12 minutes later he's warmed up and he comes back? You're a hospital. You're supposed to know when everything shuts down. That's why you have all those machines. That's why you spend 22 years in college, in medical school, doing internships, masters, bachelors. This is why you have all that. I'm going to say this to you, family. Number one is in medical schools, and I have a few friends who are medical doctors. They actually do teach that we can handle pain better than anyone else. And this is why you sit in the hospital in pain and they don't want to give you any pain medication. Yet Mazumbu gets in pain, they get the medication, and they turn around and get addicted to the medication. I've said it before, I'll say it again. In fact, this is just going to have to be my permanent background because we are people of sight and symbolism, and seeing is believing. You see all these natural, from the Most High Yah's medicinal properties, herbs, tinctures, all that. 2020 has taught us that we can't trust everything we hear. Listen, this was hard for me to believe. We can't trust everything. We can't put our trust in people who, number one, as Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, you can't expect the people that don't treat you right to teach you right. We have been lied to. We have been used as cadavers while we're still breathing. This is a historical fact. Historical fact. I can name several cases. How do you think we got some of this surgery that we have? Who do you think were the lab rats? Brothers and sisters, stop playing games with each other. Stop hating each other. Stop trying to be what you're not. Chase the bag, cool. Why don't you chase your health? Why don't you find, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm
Okay. In the comments.
Man, that is low down. They're gonna kill the folks' baby and then take the baby's organs?
Oh yeah.
Man, that is low down.
Oh yeah. And like she said, that's just one case.
Man, tell me that's not a beast mentality.
Oh yeah.
What righteous person would do that?
Right.
Wow.
And like you said, they track record. You know, you gotta do look at their track record. Shouldn't be surprising.
Wow. But then the Most High say they wouldn't show the young or the old faithful.
Right, exactly. Right. Ain't this song? Yeah. So here we go. Got another one right here.
Ram COVID-19 update. We're going to talk today about a new variant out of South Africa called Omicron by the World Health Organization. Its official name is B1.1.529, and it was discovered initially on November 11th. Now, this is based on full sequencing of the genome of this SARS-CoV-2 virus, and it's based on over 100 sequences, meaning that they fully sequenced at least 100 subjects to find out the entire genome of this particular variant. And these sequences have been found in primarily the countries in the South African area of Africa, but also have been seen in Israel, Hong Kong, and Belgium. And while originally found in these countries, they have now been discovered in other countries, including Italy, Germany, France. And based on previous experience with Delta, it's safe to assume that it is likely already circulating in other countries as well. And the concerning thing about this particular variant is that it has a number of mutations, more mutations than we've seen in a virus that is now starting to increase in terms of prevalence in the areas such as South Africa and where it's being detected currently. And I think it's worthwhile to review again how these mutations are actually occurring. So here we have a SARS-CoV-2 viral particle that infects a human being. And what it does is it reproduces itself inside of that human being. And it's well known that in a single human being, there can be up to 1 billion to 1 trillion different copies of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. The problem is that the replication of this virus is not perfect. And so there may be mutations. Even a few mistakes means that there are going to be variants that are made inside the human being. And these mistakes or these mutations mean that different amino acids are going to be inserted in these proteins, and these proteins are going to have slightly different shapes. And most of the time, these shapes mean nothing. They don't enhance the ability of the virus to infect or to replicate any better than the original copy. But occasionally, you're going to get a mutation and an amino acid substitution that's going to mean a different protein that's going to be an improvement in terms of infectivity on the previous original version. They may or may not code for different proteins, and that means it looks different specifically to the immune system. It may also look different based on the receptor, and as we know, the spike protein, which is this pink protein on the surface of the viral particle, interacts specifically with the ACE2 receptor. And the ACE2 receptor is a protein receptor on the surface of our cells, mainly found in our GI tract, in our respiratory tract, and our vasculature, and neutralize. In other words, bind to the spike proteins to prevent those spike proteins from binding to the ACE2 receptors in humans. That experiment is going to be done in the next week or so, and we're going to have some more information, hopefully, about whether or not these viral particles, the specific variant called the Omicron variant, is going to be able to evade vaccination. And they're going to have to do it with different types of vaccines. They'll do it against all the different types of vaccines and see whether or not the antibodies that are produced in those subjects can prevent the ability of that viral variant to infect. Now, the way that this is going to happen is it's not going to be a yes or no. It's not going to be yes, it prevents it, no, it doesn't. We almost certainly expect there to be a reduction in the efficacy of the vaccines just because of the number of mutations that we're seeing in the spike protein. But is it going to be a reduction from 90% to 80%, or is it going to be a reduction from 90% down to 20%? We don't know the answer to that until we do these types of studies. realized.
Okay. Any comments? It just so happened. Like I said, it then started over in South Africa, and
Hey, Rob.
Africa's pretty much void. Go ahead.
Hey, you know it's it's a movie out with that name back 1963 or 64. You can Google it. And
Right.
it's a movie with that name, and it's about an alien taking over a human body to find out more about the Earth.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out after class. See what's over there. Yeah, ain't there something?
Right. So do you guys think that South Africa is just being thrown under the bus? When
Yeah.
you imagine that this variant been out there in other countries, but
Right.
they just trying to pin it on South Africa
Right. You're taking the
and
heat
whatnot.
off the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it just so happened it's a place that was pretty much void of anything was over in Africa.
Right.
Now all of a sudden this thing here, Omicron is in Africa. Yeah, ain't there something?
Y'all,
And
y'all,
go ahead, Lamar. Go ahead.
y'all gonna say I think they jab rate is like 20%. It's real
Right.
low over there.
Right.
Right. So they send it to a place where, they probably don't have a lot of vaccines in that country and whatnot. So it's easy to point the finger at them and say, hey, we found it here on November 11th.
Right. Ain't there something?
Yeah.
Notice there's 11 in there?
Yeah. November 11th.
Ain't there something? Yeah, this it was weird.
And they put travel bans on that particular country, but we know that the virus has spread it to other European nations, Italy, and
Right.
so forth. But there's no travel bans coming placed on those countries.
Right.
It's odd. Something's amiss to me with all of this.
Oh yeah, right. They are singling out of South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. This is what play some of it. This is what can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, this
Lisa
is about
Cabrera.
right. This is about the eclipse.
Shalom, shalom to everybody that's in the chat and out there watching. We're just going to touch on a few things that are going on. I'm sure everybody by now have heard about Omicron. And, it's funny because last night I sat up and I watched about 4 different doctors, listening to them talk. And I think it's safe to say these doctors in America are full of shit. Okay. Yes, I'm saying it. Doctors in America, listen to me now, are full of shit. And they know they're lying to you. I was watching, the last doctor I watched was early this morning, or last one I watched. And he was being interviewed, and he was saying he was cheerleading on the jab scene. Everybody should get the jab scene, the jab scene. And the reporter finally said, if Omicron goes into your T cells, doesn't that make the jab scene obsolete? And after he got finished cheerleading on the jab scene, he said, maybe, and his whole demeanor changed. I was like, they know the real answer, but in America, they are trained and conditioned to lie to you. Oh, you can't tell the public this. Oh, they gonna get scared. That's not for us, ladies and gentlemen. That's for them. If you tell them too much of the truth, they're gonna get scared. So they got to pacify the very weak-minded among us by just going on and telling you a string of lies. This thing got 32 variations. It goes into your T cells just like HIV, okay? Once it gets in there, there's no way to test it. There's no way to contain it. And they're just telling you a bunch of lies. So I start looking at T cells and what happens and that's why so many people died of HIV. Once that virus reaches into the T cell, it is unattainable. You cannot contain it at all. And this Omicron apparently is nothing like Delta. In fact, they're totally different viruses, and they do two totally different things. So over the last, I would say, about 36 hours, I've been listening to different doctors and reading and learning more about T cells and what they do. And wow, America and this planet is in trouble. And the reason why you're in trouble is because your time is up. You have spent 2021 trying to ignore a pandemic. But see, our Heavenly Father, He's going to come back and show you, you ain't going to be ignoring nothing. All right? With this new shit coming along, you ain't going to be ignoring nothing. Last night, ladies and gentlemen, New York, the state of New York, declared a state of an emergency. 8 countries are banned from coming here. 7 countries are banned from going to Canada. Don't tell me, oh, this is nothing. Y'all can miss us with all of it. Because number one, we know we're not going to get the truth from you. We already know that right up front. Number two, the longer you try to go on in power, all of you Gentiles, as long as you keep trying to act like it's all good and you're going to wake up every day and pretend like you still got it all under your thumb, He's going to show you otherwise. And ladies and gentlemen, this is proof. Our Heavenly Father is hearing our prayers. If you didn't think He didn't hear you before, believe it now. Look at what happened after the blood moon. I told y'all to pray on the blood moon. That very day, America found out it was no longer number one on earth. China is. China is. The same day of the blood moon. Now we got this variant that is scaring the hell out of them. They are scared. They are scared. You are praying and He is listening. He hears His children. See, these folks have spent centuries praying against us. We are now waking the hell up, and we know to pray against their asses. And look at this whole society. No matter how hard they try, they can't get up, honey. They've fallen and they can't get up. And this time, there is no ambulance to come get you off of that damn floor. You're going to stay down there. He hears all of us. He hears His children, which means you keep on going in your prayers. Because look, they were whining about 2020 being a bad year. 2021 has actually been worse. It's been worse than 2020. 2020, what was the worst that happened? They had to sit at home. Really, that was the real worst of it. They had to sit their ass at home. Now they can't do enough to get this damn economy up. And the news of Omicron tanked the stock market. Okay, did you pay attention to that too? The news of Omicron tanked the stock market. So we know all too well what it's like being cursed. But these Gentiles, remember, they get double. They know how bad it's been for us. Can you just imagine what double will look like? Well, I think we're going to find out sooner than you can imagine, ladies and gentlemen. Sooner than you can imagine, we're going to find out. The whole world is shaking over this thing. I was looking at the news out of South Africa. So, it's really fascinating to me, and I'm going to continue to track it and watch what's going on. But see, you ain't going to ignore anything. He going to show you in more ways than one. You ain't going to get out of your bed and ignore shit. Those days are done. And if he got to kill everybody around you to get your attention, then so be it. That's all I got to say. He will get your.
Yeah. So that's you want to watch that? It's December 4th, total solar eclipse. You want to watch the whole thing? That's So you want to watch all of that? Yeah, check it out. Shalom.
Yeah, Leonard, I'm with her. Pray against your enemy. Right. Pray against it. Pray that the Lord helps.
They praying against us, and they got us and look to the Old New Testament and not praying.
Right.
Praying for them.
Exactly.
The whole time they praying against us.
Exactly.
Is it so?
Pray. Let his vengeance fall upon our enemy.
Right.
And all of those that afflict us.
Yeah.
And his servants.
Yeah, she was saying later on that broadcast that you want to go watch it, that December 4th got a solar eclipse.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me play this right here. Then we go into some we're going to questions, Q&A. Let me get it. Like she was saying, man, don't look good, bro. Too much going on.
If you think the market had a bad reaction to the prospects of new lockdowns and an economic slowdown, sending some stocks to crash over the past few days, you probably have no idea of the chaos that has been installed across global supply chains. For several months, conditions have significantly worsened. But many were expecting disruptions to calm down and operations to come back to normal after the winter. That hope has been successfully crushed by the emergence of a new virus strain with an alarming number of mutations. Asian countries, the world's biggest exporters and our key trade partners, have already started to impose new work restrictions, port shutdowns, and factory closures to prevent this new variant from spreading. Some industry executives argue that we're about to see a repeat of 2020, when mandatory shutdowns disrupted manufacturing and shipping and led to shortages on a scale we haven't seen in almost a century. Just as economies started to reopen, they might have to close everything down again. Only this time, we will be locked at home, already knowing that there are fewer products available for consumption and that we're facing a painful inflation rate that's likely to cause even more pain as problems intensify over the coming months. Not a very reassuring outlook, that's for sure. If supply chains were struggling with worker shortages before, it is safe to say that these issues will not get any better in the foreseeable future. Right now, hundreds of cargo ships remain stuck offshore, waiting to be unloaded, while increasingly more store shelves get empty, prices skyrocket, and shipping companies are warning about further delivery delays. The 2021 holiday season is looking gloomier than usual. Higher prices impacted this year's Thanksgiving table, and fewer discounts had a toll on retailers' sales this Black Friday. Things are not expected to improve by Christmas. In fact, retailers are openly warning people they will face shortages and products will be far more expensive as shipping and supply chain problems compound. The health crisis is likely to revive some logistics nightmares many had thought to be a problem from the past. Due to the increased health crisis, millions of supply chain workers will probably choose not to return to what they consider to be risky or low-paying jobs. The whole system is falling apart. According to urban plant growers owner Peter Cole, 2 months after it was due to arrive, his company's $1.6 million order was just being loaded into two 40-foot shipping containers aboard a ship that set sail from Shenzhen, China, and is still floating somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. He says it never used to.
Okay.
When we were kids, Superman was our hero.
Be this way? In the before times, his products used to be manufactured, shipped, and ready to sell to his customers in a little over 6 weeks. Then everything broke down. Cole's company, of course, is not alone. Millions of small and medium-sized businesses in the United States are still struggling to restock shelves and keep warehouses full as they brace for more potential supply chain bottlenecks caused by extreme weather this winter, and now new disruptions caused by a new wave of virus cases. Delivery delays have been a persistent problem throughout the health crisis, with government restrictions at border crossings slowing or completely interrupting. It's a major headache for everyone, he noted. People have lost sales because they didn't have enough stock to sell. No CEO of a large retailer or brand is ever gonna want to be in that position again. Some of the smaller companies, I think, are gonna struggle more because the capacity issues are still there, and I think they're gonna be there for a while. There are the ones that we have squeezed out both in prices and in availability. Added.
Okay. Any comment?
Yeah. Just more confirmation on what we was talking about before we came on is just that this country can't take much more disaster.
Right.
It's already stretched thin as it is now with all that it has going on.
Right, exactly. Right, so that means that the Israelites, the people that's awakened, it's time to go to the other level. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Prepare yourself, man, because this thing it ain't gonna go the other way.
Right. Yeah, we'll never see what they call normal ever again.
Exactly.
And that's something I've been saying since this all happened. Normal is gone.
Right.
What we think is normal. This is the new normal. Chaos.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's coming back. It's prophecy is being fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Got to understand that. Yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, after them 400 years hit, things been, he's doing what he said.
Right. Yeah. We're getting more and more a better understanding on what he said too about the luminaries and the sun and the moon and all that stuff for science. Because
Right.
all that's in play. It's all in play. But we've been fumbling with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It amazes me how the Lord of hosts can build a nation into a great empire, strongest empire, and can break it into pieces. And we're witnessing.
Right. Exactly. They can't do nothing right.
But the sweetest part of all of that, Lamar, is the way he is turning them on each other.
Right. Exactly.
You got nations
Yes.
against nation. You got one political group against another political group, and he
Yeah.
even got family against family in dealing with this vaccination stuff. He turned this
And,
thing up inside out by turning them on each other.
and it's just a matter of time before they go back and take their government. I, it's forming right in our face. Isaiah 19, ain't he gonna make them fight against each other?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is that something?
Hmm.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to Q&A. Anybody have any questions or about anything before we're gonna check out the video on what's in your body and then we'll close out.
Yeah, I got one. I keep going back to this because I don't. It's becoming clearer and clearer to me, but I ain't. You know, it's Zechariah 1:11. You know,
Yeah.
when he shut down the whole earth. But the amazing part to me is you ain't got to go there, but chapter 2, there's a deliverance coming after this shutdown. And
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's just amazing to me to see this. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And the thing about it is, it's only just the only way he can turn our captivity because they had such a stronghold on us. It's the only way he had to do it this way.
Right, because you got to remember what he do say now. He said that he do these things so that you know that I am the Lord. He said that you got to recognize who I am.
Right.
And you're gonna know it was the Lord that
Right.
did this unto you. So he got to do it in this magnitude.
Right.
Yeah, and he don't need no little sidekick with it.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right.
sir.
Exactly. And there's some.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else got any questions or comments?
Yeah, I got one question, Leonard.
Okay.
So we talk about the Ezekiel 37 quite a bit, the
Right.
Valley of Dry Bones.
Mm-hmm.
And this past Sabbath when we discussed it, and you was drawing a lesson from it, I just had a thought. Where are the sepulchres now? The bones of our forefathers? Is it like being cloaked by the Lord of hosts? Because these people are in the land, but they haven't found the bones of our forefathers.
Yeah, it's a video out there. I don't know if you ever go look at it. I was telling you about. It's one of them called Return to Zion. You got a group of Israelite guys, maybe I think 2015, somewhere up in there. They got let me read it. The prophecy came to pass. It's let me get it right quick. Said he's gonna raise up David's room. I think it's in Zephaniah. Let me see that quick.
That'll be Amos 9, won't it?
Oh yeah, Amos 9, right? Yeah. Amos 9. It says, it says, in that day, Amos 11 says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and I will close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in days old. So they already found that. They didn't dug it up. It's sitting up on the hill, but he haven't close up the breaches yet. So and within that video, the guy showing you all the tombs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
And what's
called.
the name of the video again?
Well,
Return to Zion?
it's one called Return to Zion, and I think once you get that one, you probably can click on the whatever that channel is, and the other one's on there too.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I think his name is Hoshua or Hoshua, something like that. It's a group of them. They didn't set up camp. I down on the bottom of that mountain, down where they dug this. He started seeing all these artifacts with the different signatures from a name that was in the Bible, but it wasn't coming from Jerusalem. It was coming from Torah. So he went over there and did and started doing the research because he's an archaeologist. And he ended up found out that that's where all those artifacts coming from was where the real Jerusalem was at, the real Mount Zion. And he dug it up. So yeah. Anybody else got anything? Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this video. It's I put it on Messenger on the channel on Facebook on my Facebook page. I think for anybody that want to watch it. And I'm gonna play a little bit of it now.
At Miss Angela Stanton in my event. Yeah, an intriguing brother to say the least. So I want to get him on, and I want you guys to be able to dialogue and be able to ask the questions that you don't necessarily get to ask on TV. So without further ado, we're going to bring Brother Lamar on the screen. Hey, how my brother? Good. Let me turn my mic down. And you have to let me know how my volume is. Is it too loud? Any background noise? Let me know. Maybe turn it down just a little. I'm too loud? Yeah. Okay. Let me see. But well, if I turn my volume down, I can't hear you. Okay. Don't worry about it. It is. Well, I gave them a little bit of information about you. I put all of your contact information in the description box so they know how to contact you. I put your email in the description. So, but I just want you guys to hear them talk. We got some photos that I want to add to the screen. But just give them a little information about yourself and what we're going to be talking about today, and then I'll put the picture up so you can explain. Okay, well, the first picture I was doing iridology. I'm going to send you this chart. I thought I did it, but I'll send hold on. Which one you want first? The iridology chart. It just came to me just now. Jot down some things, mental notes. I want you all to walk away today thinking different. And I'm not preaching a gospel.
Lucy is interested in smoother, younger looking skin.
Or a pseudo message. My message to everybody is from testimonies with I've witnessed my experience through life and my years working in the medical field, my years working in the healthcare. And I want to give a shout out to all medical physicians, all doctors, every first responder out there. We thank you for your service. This platform, if anybody takes my message the wrong way, that's your fault, because I'm going to be very clear. A lot of what we say is going to be coded, but I want people to understand that there's a lot of lies going out there. There's a way that seems right, but it can lead to destruction, and death is at the end thereof. Everything that glitters is not gold. All money is not good money. And on the streets, we say game, recognize game. So us being earthlings, we have a higher intelligence than any animal. Let's use that intelligence. We have been dumbed down. We have been desensitized. And all we need to do is recognize the game that our brain is 80% water. I have a background in physiology. I've studied anatomy. I've opened up the human brain 3 times. I've dissected the brain. I've actually dissected the heart, all the vital organs. I know where they're at. I know the functioning. So when it comes to biology and the human body, I'm your go-to guy. I left that field because I saw an attack. And I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised. I ran the streets, been in and out of jails. I've been in the prisons. I know that side of life. The door was opened up, an opportunity where I walked right into it, and I had somebody to help me get the tutoring, help me get the finances to go through the schooling, to do the pre-med, to do my clinicians, my residency. And when you get a degree, I'm gonna tell you all now, a degree really don't mean nothing. It's a piece of paper of some information that you learned, a curriculum from somebody's thought process. And in all of our getting, we need to get an understanding. I want people to understand why there's murder, why there's crime, why there's hatred, evil. Why do people hate on you? And we're the same skin color. We're the same nationality. We're the same human race. Why do we hate one another? Why are we sick? Why are we dying? Why is there disease? So in order to identify the source of the problem, we have to do some background. And one of the things we want to do is always look at everything like what I do, an analogy as an apple. I don't care if it's crime is an apple. If it's disease is an apple. It could be green, it could be red, it could be big, it could be little. An apple stems from something. The apple has a stem, and the stem looks nothing like the apple. The stem looks nothing like the green leaf. It looks nothing like the branch. The branch doesn't look like the tree trunk. And the tree comes from roots, which are underground. Many people say, let's get to the root of the matter. But Kwame, today what we're going to do is we're going to go below the roots. We're going to get to the seed, which is the source. Where did this thing start from? If we want to tackle and battle disease, mental health, which is plaguing our community, Blacks are the leaders in mental health. African American, Latino, Hispanics, we're the leaders in all health issues as far as blood pressure is concerned, as far as diabetes, you name it, across the spectrum. Black men, prostate cancer. We're going to talk about what the prostate really is and the functioning, so you can walk away with an understanding. When they tell you you got a prostate issue, you'll know that you're lying. Your prostate, it ain't nothing wrong with it. We're going to talk about lupus. We're going to talk about why more Blacks are on dialysis, having all their blood drained out of their body. We're going to cover some grounds. Sorry, my phone rings. We're going to cover some grounds, and we're going to open up a platform for people to ask some hardcore questions. No BS. We don't want no foolishness, no drama, and don't be trying to challenge and debate, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm going to give you facts. And facts is not my theory, is not an opinion. I'm giving facts because my opinion doesn't matter. My opinion means nothing. I don't care about the theories and hypotheticalizing anything. How about what the truth is? The truth has made us free. If we keep getting all these lies, we're going to be enslaved to a system. In 1860s, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. And if you read through it, I encourage everybody, take some time to just Google it. Go and look at the Emancipation Proclamation, how that whole thing reads out, that they were free and slaves. And not all slaves were freed under the proclamation. When you're free, the proclamation, it represents what's going on today. You are free from my hands, but not my system. Systematically, Blacks in an African-American community, we're the leaders of the prison system. We're the leaders of the EBT system, Section 8 system. We're the leaders of unemployment system. We are the leaders of growth system, and finances are all messed up. Yet we're the leaders of health, the medical system, the educational system. You name it. It's systematically. They want to destroy the people. We got to get the knowledge. Knowledge is power. I don't believe that we're dying from diseases and all of this stuff that they're saying is going on today with all these numbers. We're going to talk in code, so you all stay with us. I believe we die for lack of knowledge. So let's do this morning and platform. Let's get some knowledge, let's get some clarity and some understanding, because wisdom comes from above. And I believe if you have the knowledge and the wisdom, you will overthink and not understand what's going on, because you're going to get left behind. Let's make it right. Let's make it count. Life is a vapor, and we get one chance. I speak different languages. I study etymology. So a lot of these words and terminology in the medical field is just a bunch of Greek and Latin words. So when you hear lupus, really saying a wolf. Diabetes, mellitus, that's Greek and Latin for passing some sugar, has nothing to do with your pancreas. Your fingers have nothing to do with all of these symptoms we're dealing with. So let's hook our people up. Kwame, let's hit it, man.
Let's do it. I got the chart up. Can you see it, or do I need to make it bigger?
I'll say it. Irie, like the Jamaicans say, iridology, the study of the iris. You just dropped the S. Iridology. This is what I do for people. In the medical field, in order to diagnose and to do an assessment, you have to draw blood. They're going to take your blood, which is your life. Your life is your blood. Your blood belongs to you. Kwame, there's 333 million people living in America, 7.6 billion people on the planet. Nobody shares the same fingerprint. Nobody has the same blood. Interesting thing about blood, it's unique down to the chromosomal level. I'm a hematologist. I study blood under a microscope. I know what the blood looks like. Your blood is made up into two classifications, which is hemoglobin and platelets. Hemoglobin is oxygen and hydrogen. Hydrogen, oxygen is water. Blood is 92% water. The other part of the blood is platelets, which is iron and calcium broken up into 4 parts. When they take your blood and run it through a panel, they're not going to tell you that it's a discriminatory act. It's unhuman to tell a person that they're low, they're out of range, they're here, they're there, blood pressure, their diabetes, their A1C, glycemic glucose. When all clinical studies in America, in the medical system, according to the American Medical Association, National Institute of Health, all clinical studies in America, the average reading, the normal numbers are conducted on white men only. The normal size for the prostate, the 4 centimeter for PSA reading assessment is coming from a white man with a 22-inch waistline from the early 1900s. The high blood pressure or blood pressure hypertension reading 120/80, that came from John Rothschild, 1900, Gary in Connecticut. They put a catheter in his left arm with an incision, drained the blood into a mason jar for 60 seconds. How on earth are you going to tell the fastest people? The fastest people. We are the best athletes. Kwame, you know that. We're the best basketball players, football players. Am I right?
Right.
Are we the fastest runners on the planet?
Absolutely.
That means we have the fastest heart rate. On a normal day, our heart can beat 160 times in 60 seconds. Dealing with drama, dealing with a dysfunctional life. Black people, we have the most dysfunctional families, and we function. We went through slavery, years and years after slavery, thousands of years of slavery, because we're always enslaved and free. After we're free, we get dumbed down again and go right back into that mentality. Whether it's under Egypt, get free, go to the Hittites, Amorites, you got the Babylonians, then you got the Persians under Darius and Xerxes, and then you got the Greeks. They come in, and then we're enslaved again under Rome. And then 1063, London, England breaks away from Rome, and here we are taking on that same mentality that somebody has to suppress and overrule us. We don't own the land. When the Creator told us we're the baddest people on the planet, His people are the strongest. Not only are we the strongest nation, most powerful nation, we have more melanin. We have more melatonin, which is our skin color. Skin color is vitamin D that comes from the sun, but they will tell you, we ran your blood, your panel comes back, you got a vitamin D deficiency. Do you know how many of us Negroes believe that crap? They believe it, and then they go and take these fake vitamin D pills that are synthetic, and then we have more complications and tired and fatigued. They're going to lie and say our A1Cs are off. There is no A1C. I'll use some A1 sauce on some food, but there is no A1C. When I look at blood under a microscope, I do not see sugar. And all of these people talk about, I got to check my sugar. But are you sitting at home eating a bowl of sugar all day? So what the heck are you talking about? Because did you check your blood salt and pepper levels? Did you check your blood Laurel seasoning salt levels? Or Mrs. Dash or Old Bay? Why they got us so programmed that we're running around like some dumb, idiotic people? Because God says, my people are willfully ignorant. God is declared, the Creator has declared universal laws that prove that we just stuck on stupid and we can't get right. So,
okay. Any comments so far?
All I can say is, man, I definitely got to watch that in its entirety. That's
right. Yeah,
man, what he's saying is legit, man. We man, we twisted all kind of ways, ain't we?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm screaming.
Goodness gracious!
I've been screaming from day one. They didn't hook everything, leave no rock unturned. So they can't find them yet, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna bounce through it for a minute, then we'll close out. But yeah, the name of the video is what's in your body with a comma, with a question mark. Dr. Lamar Price, ND, the realest health coach.
Wow.
The system's broken. It's unjust because all of the studies are based on the white man and us. So if you want to open up the platform, the iridology is the way I.
Okay.
Foolishness, some buffoonery, and it's all backed by witchcraft. That's why the word lupus is. Came out last week. You didn't get all hairy and fangs. Stop doing it. Let's walk. You are more than a conqueror. You're a queen. You live, and be your own doctor. then call me and let me be your health coach. Kwame is the baddest, but still need a coach. Yeah. And I'm going to teach you triangle defense, sis. All right? Got it.
I appreciate you. I got Miss Angela standing in the back room. We're going to let you ask the question, bro. And then we're going to bring Angela on. Yeah, we got Angela on, so we got to let you ask your question. You've been patient. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. It's really just two questions. Now, I'm from the South, so I seen holistic medicine come in forward and really help me and my family, really. But fried food is a staple in the Black community. We just left Thanksgiving a few days ago. Are fried foods completely bad, or can I have it in moderation? And then also I wanted to ask, you say fruits and vegetables a lot, but which fruits and vegetables are the best that we should be ingesting on a consistent basis?
Tell me your name.
My name is Elijah. I just cut it short on here.
Hey, King Elijah, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. And your question is monumental for all of us down in the South, the Southern states. Actually, I'm in the South now, so I can't wait to get back to California. And because we got vegetarian restaurants on every corner. We got vegan foods on every corner, and I eat very clean. I like to line up all of my science. I like to take all of my curriculum and line it up with the Creator and universal laws. We're nature, natural. Natural's nature. Nature says there has to be balance. It cannot be summertime all year long. That don't work. It can't be winter all year. We got to have 4 seasons, summer, fall, winter, spring. So I want to encourage you, Elijah, do everything in moderation. All things in moderation. Bring balance. It's okay. We're going to get some junk. We got Thanksgiving and all of these holidays and Kwanzas and Christmases and Easters and 4th of July. You're going to go to a party. They're going to have some junk there, and you hungry. And what you going to say? Oh, I'm eating fruits and vegetables, and I'm just going to eat like a rabbit? No. Eat. Fried foods. Use plant-based oils. They got us. In 1948, I want you to listen to me, Elijah. I want to educate you on something. 1948, World War II had ended, and the regime for the Germans and Nazis had stopped. And a lot of those doctors and scientists and engineers, great minds, great, amazing minds came out of Germany. We wouldn't know about penicillin and antibiotics if it wasn't for the German scientists. We wouldn't know about a lot of the technology that we have in gene splicing started in 1920s. That's how they came up with Down syndrome. We wouldn't know a lot about medicine or anything. We did not advance in the way we eat and how food affects us literally until the 40s. And by Operation Paperclip, German scientists came in, America gave them a pass and said, we ain't gonna lock you up, but teach us what you taught them. And how did y'all do this and do that? Well, you know that motor oil in our army tanks? We actually figured out how to use it and recycle it, refine it, and put it back out into the bodies of during the Holocaust and the Jews. So when they ate it, they got clogged arteries and all of this stuff was happening, and we started treating and experimenting on them. It's a domino effect. Long story short, they said, we can't do that in America. That's inhumane. You know, the government works with the Food and Drug Administration. We control the food. You eat a certain diet, you get symptoms, end up on the drugs. It's all one big game. It's a circle of money going into one system, one pocket. So they said, how can we effectively do this? But it sounds like a good plan. Do you know these evil fools did it? And they created something, a concept said, let's give a government grant to a specific company, and that's Procter & Gamble. And you take the motor oil from the German tanks and cars, the Mercedes and all of that, and let's use that refined oil, and even the oil in our America, how do we refine it? We're going to break it down, synthesize it. We're going to put it back out there in a can. It's going to be white like lard, and it's called Crisco oil. So then we're going to market it. We get the government grant for them, like $400,000+, and then they market it into the community during the 50s and 60s. And then when television and marketing came into play, they said, hey, let's put a husband and wife and 2 kids because Sir Isaac Newton said it should be 4 for every family, you know, to keep the balance of life in America and population by square footage. And let's market, tell the vision on television. Let's program people. And when they turn into certain programs, we could channel this whole way of when it goes back to the seed of the serpent, because Adam and Eve ate the wrong thing. When they metabolize the food, the word energy in Greek is pneuma, neurons. The word energy in Hebrew is ruach. it all means the same spirit. So when you eat the wrong thing, you could pick up some weird stuff. You could get scared, you could get nervous, you could get angry, you could get mad, you could get frustrated, low tolerance, you're ready to take flight on people, to be tired and lazy. So they move certain type of foods with negative energy. Once we consume it, we metabolize it, it's going to just sit, because negative energy is stored energy, electron molecules. Proton energy, positive energy, fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains, we thrive, we eat, we're good, burning it off, we're running, we're dancing, we're dunking, we're up and down the court. The thing about food is when you eat fried, it soaks up, saturates the oil. If the oil is synthetic, then you're going to have negative reactions for blood circulation, clogged arteries. You follow me so far, King?
Yeah.
You eat these type of oils are plant-based, and make a mental note if you can't write it down, and everybody needs to know. Fried food is okay, but what are we going to fry our food with? Olive oil. Well, they said it don't cook. You can't go on the cooking channel and watch Emerald and Wolfgang Puck. They cook and fry with olive oil. We were taught to deep fry everything, so the chicken can sit in a big old thing. We just soak up all the grease, and we fry it for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Then we eat it. It's good. Cover it with the, the special mama salt. Carl, me got that salt. Y'all, that work is good. Good. So we cover it up with honey mustard, and all of these seasonings, lemon pepper and garlic and barbecue. So we really don't feel the effect right away, but we fall asleep. We call it itis. It's not nigga-itis. It's just that blood vessels and arteries fall because the pigment, the grease, when it cools off in room temperature, it's thicker. But when you fried your food, the grease was so hot, it was like water. It condensed. It was dead. So what happens is, if you eat plant-based oil, game, being that we're earthlings, let's eat plant-based oils, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Can you remember those?
Yeah. Olive oil, avocado,
coconut. Coconut is really good. Coconut oil, you can put it on your skin, hair, you can oil down, massage with it, and you can cook with it. Coconut oil is really good. Your food depth fried clean. I had a lady who does Taco Tuesday every week with all her coworkers, and I went to her house to do a lecture, and it was in the hood, so we was keeping it grimy, and I was just like, I'm hungry, but I can't eat them because you got all of this turkey, this ground beef, it's all of the leftover parts. They didn't take, but it's lean. That price is lean, but that's the lean of the beak and the hoof and the wing tip. It's the parts that they don't want. It's not the beak. It's not the breast, the leg, and the thighs. So she took her shells. When I saw her shell, they had just grease all on her. Everybody had greasy fingers. I told her, why don't you use like plant-based oil? I didn't know you could. Next Tuesday, use plant-based oils. Everybody felt better. They weren't tired. They didn't feel heavy. And they came out clean and crisp. And she didn't know that. So I'm teaching people, let's get away from the control of oil. No good. Get away from it. No good. They just put the word vegetable to distract you, to deceive you, to make you, oh yeah, it's vegetable. So I'm getting, no, that's all synthetic. It's thick. That's why it's thick, and it cools off thick inside your body. You're gonna be knocked out. You're gonna be fake. You ain't gonna make your money move. You can't grind because you can't move because of all that fried food. Now, fry your foods with plant-based food. Don't deep fry. You gotta learn it.
Let Angela go.
Okay, so we gotta go, but eat all fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains. Everything from the ground is good for you. Stay away from the white potato, too acidic. Stay away from oatmeal, too acidic. Unless you cook that oatmeal for an hour and get rid of all those suds and bubbles, the acid, you're good. All right, sir, get my number, sir. Call me. 424-274-2016. Call me. Let's talk. Okay.
All right, will do. Appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out. Any questions, comments before we go on that?
No, that's good information though, man. Definitely got to watch that whole thing.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, good chance. It's key one more time before we go. It's What's in Your Body, Dr. Lamar Price, ND. He's the realest health coach. You want to check it out. So so with that being said, I'm gonna nobody else have nothing else to say or comments. We're gonna close out right here and pick up tomorrow at 7 o'clock for Wednesday night class. Anybody else got anything?
Oh, sir.
Okay.
As my brother Lamar say, all good.
Okay.
All good.
Yeah, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I hope everybody check that out, video out. We can talk a little bit more about it tomorrow if you wants everybody to watch it. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Okay.
Wrong, brother.
Shalom.